Hi, I'm Vanessa with Pro R.E.A Staffing, and with me today is Matt McIntyre. Matt is a real estate agent in Pasadena, California, and we're helping him find a real estate assistant to help him grow his business. So in this quick video, we're going to introduce you to Matt and talk about what a day in the life looks like for an assistant on his team. Now, if you're in the Pasadena area, make sure to go to our job board to check out Matt's job and apply. The link is in the description below. All right, Matt, so good to talk to you today. How are you doing?
Good to be with you, Vanessa. Well, thank you. Very well.
Awesome. All right. Well, first, I want to hear about your background. Like, what did you do before real estate, and why did you become a real estate agent?
I say this half jokingly often, but real estate was the business I was born to be in. It was a circuitous route to get there, but here I am now. I grew up in Pasadena. I don't think there's a better place to live. I love this community. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school here, then moved back east for college. Then following college, I worked in the university environment. Both my undergrad and grad work were in interior design. So that was something I thought that I wanted to do. I delayed the inevitable by working for the university for a couple of years and then went into practice and hated it. So I had always had this fascination with real estate and certainly with the luxury real estate market in the area. I had tracked it for a long time and decided just before the market crashed to take the leap into real estate. So I started, I think it was May 2008, which was quite a hidden gift because unknowingly I started at one of the toughest times in the market. And I, by happenstance, started with a brokerage that is well known as the little old lady office. And it was a beautiful place to be when the market was slow because it was primarily ladies who had sold real estate for 30, 40, 50 years. And the kitchen table wisdom that they passed on to me and the mentorship they gave me was invaluable. And I think really propelled my career in a way that most other things couldn't have done.
That's such a good story. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course.
And why do you love real estate? Why do you feel like this is your place?
At its core, real estate's problem solving. So to me, it's every situation, every transaction, every client is different, and we're solving problems. And so it uses my creative brain to be able to solve those problems. And I get the interpersonal relationships that I thrive on. I really love to be around clients. Clients become my friends and family. And that's really important to me. So, yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about this assistant we're searching for. So
Okay,
I know there's
good.
no typical day, right? There's never a typical day in real estate. That's one of the things that makes it so amazing. But if you could highlight like what they might expect to do in a typical day, what would that look like?
Can I own that you sent the questions to me in advance and I saw this question? I thought typical day.
I know.
I don't know. So, if you think about the typical day in real estate as a stove, and you have some things on the front of the stove, and you have some things on the back of the stove, and you have some things ready to go on the stove, you're sort of moving these pans around. And so there are, I'm going to say, three main areas that we handle sort of simultaneously. So there's ongoing and recurring marketing. So that would be, like I have a geographic farm and working on sending the postcards and the information to that territory. And then also part of that ongoing recurring is I do social media and digital advertising. So I have a digital advertising campaign So it's managing that. So that's sort of the ongoing, not transactional based, but stuff that needs to keep moving along to keep the business growing and going. Then there is the transactional moment, and that's, when we're in escrow, we have paperwork that needs to get done, we have timelines that need to be met, and there's a whole sort of flow chart of how an escrow goes with inspections and disclosures and everything else. So there may be some of those pans on the stove, maybe transactions that are actively moving, and those tend to be the things that are on the front burners. And then the third phase is really prep work, and that's primarily for my listings, but prep work also can relate to buyers in terms of showing buyers properties and arranging for appointments. But each listing that I take on, I do a fair amount of prep work and management before it hits the multiple listing service and before the public is exposed to it. So that could be having hardwood floors refinished, putting new counters in a kitchen, painting the house, cleaning the house, staging the house. All of that prep work gets done before it ever goes on the market and before it goes into kind of that transactional funnel.
So what would you say are some of the qualities, skills, or traits that are essential for success in the role with you specifically?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I think first and foremost, an ability to problem solve and an ability to work independently, and a fair amount of confidence in your business skill set. So Vanessa, you and I have talked about, I don't think it is essential that a real estate assistant or my real estate assistant have a lot of familiarity with the real estate business. I think you can learn the real estate business. I think it's better that you have work experience and even diverse work experience that you can bring to the table. One of the sort of key tenets of my business is to be very client focused. So you also have to have a fair amount of customer service knowledge and really understanding what it takes to serve a client fully and best. So critical thinking skills and problem solving, very important. Dedication to the client and always keeping the client front of mind. And then really being able to handle multiple tasks at the same time. I don't know that I always love multitasking, because multitasking to me sometimes feels like everything has the same importance or priority. And really we have to be able to prioritize what's most important at that particular time.
Perfect. What do you see if you have somebody who's successful in this role? What kind of growth opportunities could they expect to experience working with you?
Sure. So, I am a very small team. I like it that way. I am the only agent. And when I work with an assistant, I like that person to be more like my partner, my sounding board, someone that really is involved and invested in the business and that I can seek counsel by. At the same time, I jokingly say I suffer from bright, shiny ball syndrome. So there's a bright, shiny ball that comes floating by and I grab onto that one, but then the next one comes and I grab onto that one. So I need someone that can also keep me focused, which is why having admin experience and understanding how to manage somebody is very, very, very important for this role.
Right. So having somebody who wants to grow in a partnership with you is really what the growth opportunity is.
That is the growth opportunity. And I can see adding more admin support, certainly in time. I can see the admin role growing into an operations manager and then hiring someone that handles marketing exclusively, and then somebody else maybe that handles more paperwork, more transactional stuff.
Perfect. Well, great. Matt, thank you so much for sharing some information on the role and about your background. I think this is really helpful for job seekers. So if you're in the Pasadena area, make sure to go to jobs.proreastaffing.com, apply to Matt's job. If you're not in the area, make sure to like and subscribe to this video and follow along because we have new opportunities across the US all the time. Cheers.